welcome back to the channel. We're going to try something a little bit different today. I am a huge fan of Star Wars Armada. Huge fan. Probably my third favorite tabletop game of all time. And while obviously it would be better if it was Twilight Imperium themed, and believe me when I've told you, I have done a lot of mental... I don't even know. I've done a lot of dreaming of how I would design Twilight Imperium Armada. You know, it would be so cool. You know, there'd be 24 different factions, and they'd all have unique ship models, and they'd all have leaders that could be like you could make the leaders in the game upgrades, and you could give them all different technologies and all sorts of cool stuff like that. Like just really cool things. You know, there could be war suns. You could equip plasma scoring to your war. It would be so cool. So cool. I don't think the scale would work simply from a financial point of view. I think it would have to be something closer to X-Wing just because of the sheer number of models and the sheer number of factions, but whatever. You know, it's a crazy pipe dream, but maybe one day, maybe if Fantasy Flight is listening, they will just go, you know what, we're going to make his day. We're going to make Twilight Imperium Armada. I don't think it'll happen, though. Also, I mean, the only reason Armada is even financially viable is because of how recognizable and popular these ships all are. Like, the Super Star Destroyer could only be made because it is the Super Star Destroyer, you know? But whatever, it's fine. I'll just live in my dreams for the rest of my life. In the meantime, though, I'm going to play some Star Wars Armada, and I thought it would be a pretty fun thing to go through and make a video with where I design a fleet for each of the 4 factions. Obviously, each of those is going to be a separate video because it's going to be a little bit involved, but basically, if I was teaching someone Star Wars Armada, if I was just putting this out in front of them and they've never played before, I'm trying to design a fleet for that person. So with that in mind, I'm going to be doing a Separatist fleet in this video because I have been playing Separatists most recently. And full disclosure, I'm not some kind of Star Wars Armada expert. All right, I've played for about 2 years pretty regularly, but I've never played competitively. I play just for fun with one guy. We go back and forth and we play all the different factions and we design fleets and we just play with the spaceships, you know? We just have spaceship fights and it's a lot of fun. But I'm not competitive. I don't have every rule memorized. So I'm not going to say that this is the best fleet you can ever make. And I'm also not going to say that it's even a competitive fleet. I mean, it's not. This is specifically being designed for people who are being introduced to this game. They've never played before, and they just need a fleet, and all they've got is the starter kit. That's another requirement for this fleet that we're designing. They only have the starter kit. So I've got a list of all the different upgrades that the starter kit has, and so we're just using those. Now, to make this fleet, I'm using Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder. I'll obviously put a link down in the description, because in my opinion, it is the best fleet builder. So let's get started. Let's design this fleet. It's going to be great. All right. So in the fleet starter, there are 3 ships. You get 2 hard cells and 1 munificent. Now, each of those ships have 2 versions. For the hard cells, there's the transport and the battle refit, and for the munificent, there's the comms frigate and the star frigate. For this, because it's a beginner fleet, I'm trying to maximize versatility and adaptability, and I'm trying to minimize confusion. So each of these ships, we're going to put a maximum of 4 upgrades on. 3 is really where I like to be. And then we're going to try to maximize the versatility. So high squadron values, multiple colored dice, that's where we're at. We're not even going to worry about points because it's just unrealistic to do that with just a starter kit. If you do want to get into Armada, I recommend that you get a starter kit and then you get the corresponding squadron pack, and then from there just get whatever you want, you know? And honestly, just get whatever you want from the very beginning, but that's what I would recommend. Core, squadron pack, and then maybe one more big ship, and then you can probably get to 400 points pretty easily, and you can have a full game. But right now, I think we're going to go to about 270 points, so it'll just be real easy, real small game, just 3 ships and the squads that come in the starter pack. So we're going to do the comms frigate simply because it's got the higher squadron value, and so it makes it easier for a new player to just activate squads as they need to. So I'm just thinking versatility. I'm just thinking they'll have more options with 3 squad. As for the other 2 ships, let's do transports for the same reason, high squadron value. But also, they've got some blue dice and some red dice, so new players can get used to using both red and blue dice. Also, I have already designed this fleet, so I do know that we're going to be using the fleet support upgrade slot, and that's only on the transport. Next, we're going to go ahead and pick our commander. Now, 2 commanders come in the box. We've got Dooku and we've got Kraken. We're going to do Dooku because Dooku, in my opinion, is more beginner-friendly. But let's look at what Kraken does, just because you can choose Kraken if you would like. So Kraken, functionally what he is if you can get 2 of your ships within range of the ship that you're attacking, you get to set one of your misses to a hit. Functionally. That's functionally what he does. He's a really good commander. I really like him. But the reason we're not going to go with him is because he requires that you be good at maneuvering your ships into position, something a new player is not going to excel at. So instead, we will go ahead and get rid of Kraken, and we're going to do Dooku. Now Dooku, he just lets you put raid tokens on enemy ships. And it's simple, and a new player can grasp that really quickly. And also, he's a great commander. Like, when I go up against Republic fleets, they tend to be pretty squad heavy, and if I can cancel out squadron commands, oh man, Dooku saves me consistently. I love him as a commander. As for the officer that we're going to put on this ship, we're going to go with Rune. Rune is able to take tokens from other ships, as well as I'm starting with 2 tokens on his card. So he's going to help us to have an excess of command tokens floating about that we can use to make our comms frigate survive longer and also hit harder. And then we're also going to put some more support in the form of a munitions resupply and a parts resupply on our hard cells. So really what I'm trying to do here is just put a ton of tokens in the hands of whoever is flying with this fleet. I want them to never feel as if they are, thirsty for command tokens, because command tokens can be super helpful, and we're going to go over how in just a second. But first, let's go over what munitions resupply and parts resupply do. So what you do is you put 5 tokens, 5 concentrate fire tokens on munition resupply, and you can exhaust this card to hand out those tokens to ships in at distance 1 to 5 of you. So it's going to be really nice because you're going to be able to just functionally hand out rerolls to all of your ships from this ship. So this ship can just hand out rerolls, basically. However, in order to refresh this card, you do have to spend a command token of these 3 types. So concentrate fire, engineering, or navigation. And so I'm not going to really worry about that. Hard cells tend to bank a token at the beginning of the game, and hopefully we can just use that when it becomes necessary to refresh this card. And it's the same thing with parts, but that will hand out repairs, so it'll help the ships last longer and fight harder. And speaking of handing out repair tokens, let's go ahead and put battle droid reserves on the Munificent, because that's going to make this ship a lot tankier. When you spend an engineering token, you can ignore basically just ignore the top effect. It might come in handy, it might not, but discarding face down damage cards costs 1 fewer engineering point. So instead of discarding 1 a round, the Munificent can now discard 2. And let me tell you, that's going to come in clutch. Because this thing, it's only got 6 hull. It's only got 6 health. So this Battle Droid Reserve can help you heal up the Munificent consistently, especially when it's being fueled by parts resupply off of this hard cell. So that's the idea. The idea is give the player a whole bunch of tokens that they can spend on using Battle Droid Reserves, getting some re-rolls off a munition supply. And then also, I'm going to go ahead and put Hyperwave Signal Boost on the Munificent, because I don't want a new player to be focused on squadrons and dealing with squadron commands and all of that stuff. I want them to just be grasping the core concept of the game, which is, at least in my opinion, navigation and shooting. Well, okay, that's not the core of the game, but rather that's the thing that it's important for a new player to get down. So I don't want them dealing with having to mess with squadrons or anything like that, and Hyperwave Signal Boost is a really good way for us to do that. So Hyperwave Signal Boost functionally lets you, during the squadron phase, treat squadrons as if they had been activated by a squadron command. So it's going to help our squads, because all of our squads will have the AI trait that is necessary for this card to work. It's going to help our squads be more versatile, and also we're not going to have to deal with activating them using squadron commands. So I quite like this card. I think it's going to really help a new player just focus on flying well, shooting hard, and then the squads will just activate in the squadron phase, and they'll still be activating as if they were activated normally, because they're all going to be AI. So, oops, this is adding a ship. So, speaking of squads, let's go down there and let's get that done. The Fleet Starter makes this easy. Comes with 4 squads. We're going to go ahead and put the only ace that it comes with in, and then we're going to do 3 Vulture Droids. So, the squads are the Hater Chow prototype, and its ability: before an enemy ship or squadron at distance 1 moves, you can perform an attack against it. So, this guy sitting next to a bunch of enemy squads, those squads try to move to go attack one of our ships or something, this squad gets a free attack against them, which is really nice. And then just regular Vulture Droids. Notice both of these squads have AI, which means that Hyperwave Signal Boost is going to work on them. And they are going to hopefully form a nice little squadron screen. Honestly, my squads always get wiped out like round 2 because I'm always going up against Republic, and the Republic just has really good squads. But I don't know. Hopefully they aren't just a complete waste of points. Hopefully. All right, so let's finish this up. We got to introduce titles because this is a new player. I think munition resupply, I think of that as it's going to benefit me in combat. So what title is also going to benefit me in combat? Beast of Burden. Beast of Burden, not my favorite title, but when you activate and you're at distance 1 to 3, you can ready some defense tokens on another ship. So not great, but I'm not mad about it. I'm not going to dislike having it. And then we also can put Foreman's Labor, which I love, on the parts resupply one, because it makes it hardier, just like the parts resupply is focused on heals. I'm just thinking mnemonically for a new player, it's going to help them focus on just knowing what these ships do. For instance, this ship, it just is going to shoot and tank. This ship, it's going to give rerolls, and it's going to be focused on combat. And then this ship is focused on heals and endurance. You know? Simple. Simple, easy, to the point. Hopefully it doesn't confuse anybody. The Foreman's Labor, though, it really does help you reduce the total damage taken to your ship. And so it makes this hard cell a lot hardier, which my hard cells have gotten one-shotted before, so being able to reduce damage in any way that I can is really nice. All right, finally, I'm just going to go ahead and throw some T-Series tactical droids on these 2 ships. this is not necessary, and it's kind of just there in case you have some extra tokens on the hard sell. You can use them to make them into better carriers, or you can use them to repair or to navigate better. I like having T-Series tactical droids on ships if I can spare the points, just because they make them more versatile and they help you if you have some spare tokens. I do really wish, though, that they could be used to add a concentrate fire command, but I get that that would be ridiculous and kind of broken, so whatever, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad. And there we go. That's our build. We've got a Munificent with Count Dooku, Rune, Battle Droids, and the Hyperwave Signal Boost. And then we've got 2 hard cells, both with T-Series tactical droids, one with a munitions resupply, one with a parts resupply, and then we've also got Beast of Burden and Foreman's Labor on those, just to show new players how titles work. Alright. And then we've also got 3 Vulture droids and the Hayor Chal, the prototype, the ace, the one ace that comes in the box. Now, I do not use objectives. I just don't. I never got into them. I don't know why. It never really clicked with me. I know a lot of people really do like objectives. I honestly would recommend that for a first game, which is what this fleet is designed for, that you not use objectives. If you're teaching somebody, just leave the objectives out. It's just easier that way. It won't confuse them. They've got enough to think about with just this right here. We don't need to throw more at them. But if you absolutely have to put objectives, I would recommend that we do Most Wanted. For defense, we do Contested Outpost. And then for navigation, we do Dangerous Territory. Why did I choose these? These are the simplest objectives, in my opinion. The most easy for a new player to grasp. I think that if you want to do objectives, do these 3. But again, I would leave them off if you're just teaching a game. I think that it makes it significantly easier to grasp. So, there we go. That's our build. I think it's a solid build. I would not mind flying this. I do dislike that it's only 270 points, but since we're limited to just the fleet starter, there's not much I can do about that. I'm planning on doing one of these for each of the different fleets. It will be just a fun thing for me to do. Hopefully you guys like it. And also, it gives you guys more videos to comment on for the giveaway that's going on right now, which is for a copy of Twilight Imperium. So if you haven't heard, if you're a subscriber and you leave a comment on any video posted in the month of July, you'll be entered to win a copy of Twilight Imperium. Each comment is worth 1 entry, so comment on all of the videos posted in July for more entries. All of the official rules are going to be in the description of this video, or you can check out the video that hopefully I can link up in the top corner right now. Should be popping up right now. Anyways, to find out more about that giveaway. So leave a comment, make sure you're subscribed, and hopefully you can win a copy of Twilight Imperium. So yeah, I'm probably going to do Republic next, just because besides Separatists, that's the one I've been playing the most, because it just dropped. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, and if you like this video, I might do more of them in the future. I have a really, really crazy Separatist build that I've been working on, and I'd love to share it with you guys at some point. So, cool. Hope you guys have a great day. Cheers.